Hello, my dear children. How are you all? Hope you are all absolutely fine. I'm your Jugna teacher back with science class. Today, probably we'll be finishing this chapter, and so you know what will be next. So next science class, that is next week, you'll have to prepare yourself for an online test based on this chapter. So did you all hear it properly? What should you do? You have to study chapter number 1, that is plants increasing the numbers, and be ready for an online test. All of you will be getting a question, so be ready for that, okay? So we'll start with today's portion. So from the slide displayed here, maybe it's very clear to you, we are going for the last few topics of the chapter, and the chapter to learn, that is topic to learn next is what? Agriculture. Have you heard this term, agriculture? Is it a familiar term? I know you all have definitely heard this term, agriculture. You can see two farmers and they are busy harvesting crops from their field. So you know what are crops, right? Last day you learned the definition of crops. What are crops? Plants of a particular kind, grown in a particular season, grown in a particular kind of soil. We call it as crops. And now what is agriculture? It's growing crops in large numbers. Got it? What is agriculture? Growing crops in large numbers. For what purpose? So that we get enough of yield to meet the requirements of the entire population of our country. You know, our country India ranks second in population, right? So the food requirement is very large. So to meet this huge requirement, what should we do? We have to grow crops and we have to grow it in large numbers. So we learn the definition of the term agriculture. A very familiar term to you. How could you define it? It's the practice of growing plants in a large scale. Is that clear? One more time. The practice of growing plants in a large scale is called agriculture. I think you got. For what purpose should you grow plants in a large scale, otherwise a large number? In order to meet the requirements of the entire population of the country, the produce should be very high. Then only we'll be able to satisfy everyone. So for that, we have to grow plants in a large scale, otherwise in large numbers. So we learned what all steps should we do in order to increase the field. Here you could see the picture of terrace farming. Even hilly areas can be utilized for growing crops. So what all steps should you do to increase the yield? You know what is yield, right? Produce of plants. In order to increase the yield, usually farmers add what to soil? They add either manures to soil. You heard of manures, right? What is a manure? It's a plant remain or animal remain, decaying plant and animal remain. If you add manure to soil, it actually helps in improving the fertility of the soil. So if the fertility of the soil increases, naturally yield of plant also increase. So we'll go for the different ways in which yield can be increased. Otherwise, to increase production, what all do farmers usually do? Can you refer to the slide? The crops that farmers have already planted. Suppose they want a good yield from it, otherwise a good produce from it. What do farmers usually do? Go for the first point, they add manure to soil. You know what is manure? Decomposing plant and animal matter, otherwise animal dung, are all being added to soil. For what purpose? So that soil becomes more fertile and so the produce of plants definitely increase. What is another option? If manure is not easily available, you can add fertilizer. Like what all? Maybe you all have heard this: urea, superphosphate, ammonium phosphate, nitrate. So all these are nitrogenous fertilizer. They increase the nitrogen content of the soil. Thereby, plants will produce more of yield. So which one will produce more of yield? Definitely adding fertilizer. But using more of fertilizer is not good for crops, otherwise to us. Why? Overuse of it may cause soil pollution. It may adversely affect our health. So you have to definitely prefer using what? Manure. To increase yield, farmers should definitely prefer using manure. They should add manure to soil because they are natural. They'll be producing no harm to us. If manure is not available, otherwise if you want more of yield, definitely we have to go for the second option, that is adding fertilizers like urea, superphosphate, ammonium phosphate, nitrate. But a warning is there. What is it? Overuse of it can be harmful for soil as well as to human beings. So, for increasing the yield, farmers have to concentrate on increasing the fertility of the soil by adding either manure, otherwise by adding fertilizer. Is that the only thing that a farmer need to do? No, right? Farmers need to be extremely careful from all different stages of crop production. They have to be extremely careful. They have to plan everything from the very beginning. Then only they'll be getting a yield as per requirement. For that, what should a farmer do? So I'll go for the heading. For getting a good yield, otherwise for growing a healthy crop, what should a farmer do? We'll go point wise. The first thing to do is what? It's the most important step to do. Use healthy and ripe seeds for sowing. You know, only if a seed is ripe, they will be germinating very well and growing into a healthy plant and giving us a good yield. So the first and foremost thing to do is what? Choosing healthy and ripe seeds. Next, that step is also very important. What should a farmer do next after selecting ripe seeds and healthy seeds? He has to prepare the soil. What is preparation? You have seen farmers plowing, right? Plowing their fields. What is plowing? They make the soil loose. Otherwise, sometimes they go for leveling the land. So all these are preparing soil for the sowing process. So before sowing the seeds, the soil has to be properly prepared, either by plowing, otherwise leveling. All these are steps done. Now, to make the soil more fertile, we have to add manures, otherwise fertilizers to the soil. So before sowing the seeds, the soil needs to be made extremely fertile. It has to be made more fertile. The better way to make it more fertile is what? As I mentioned earlier, adding manures to soil. Now, once the seeds are sown, to ensure that they are growing healthy, we have to irrigate the soil. Suppose it's rainy season, as you all know, there is no need to irrigate the soil. What is irrigating? Supplying water by artificial methods like, what all have you heard? Have you heard of drip irrigation, otherwise sprinkler irrigation? This ensures that the crop is getting a regular supply of water. But if it's rainy season, you can skip this third step, that is irrigating the soil. But if rainwater is not available, definitely you have to irrigate the soil, and that is a process that should be done regularly. So I'll read the steps from the beginning. The first thing to do is what? Selecting healthy and ripe seeds. Next, the soil is to be prepared. Before sowing process, the soil is to be prepared either by plowing, otherwise some areas it has to be leveled and all. For example, if you're planning to cultivate in hill slopes and all, the area that you're going to plant should be leveled. Then, make the soil more fertile by adding manures or fertilizer. Then you have to irrigate the soil. And during the stage of growth, if you see the crops being attacked by insects and pests, you have to use these chemicals. What all chemicals? Can you refer to the screen? You have to use insecticides, otherwise you have to use pest. Otherwise, what will happen? This insect and pest will attack the crops, and the crops will sometimes get destroyed, otherwise the yield will decrease. So to avoid that, farmers should use insecticides, otherwise pesticide. Now what is an insecticide, otherwise a pesticide? Here you have the definition. What is an insecticide? It is a chemical used for destroying harmful insects. What are pesticides? They are also chemicals used for destroying pests. Because they are chemicals, you have to be very careful regarding the amount of these chemicals sprayed on crops. You know that these are chemicals which are usually sprayed on crops. It has to be used only moderately. If you use excess of insecticides and pesticides, what will happen? Instead of crops absorbing it, it will be falling in soil. It causes soil pollution. The vapors of it, when you spray it, it's very harmful for our health. So we need to be extremely careful when you use these chemicals. So what are the steps to be followed? These chemicals should be sprayed on crops, only on crops. Then if sprayed properly, it is beneficial. What is the benefit? These chemicals help to protect the crops from pests as well as from insects. So we have to use it properly, that is in requisite amount. Then it turns to be beneficial. how it's beneficial? It protects the crops from pests. But go for the last point, that's a warning. If you use too much of this, it's harmful for our health, especially human beings, other animals, it's extremely harmful for us. So what all steps have to be taken to get a good yield or produce? We have to select ripe and mature seeds. Then we have to prepare the soil. We have to use manures, otherwise fertilizer. We need to irrigate, that is keep on supplying water regularly. And if you find the crops being attacked by insects and pests, you have to definitely use these chemicals which are used to destroy the harmful insects, otherwise harmful pests. So the crops are protected from pests and insects, but they need to be protected from so many other factors. Crops need to be protected not only from insects and pests, they need to be protected from so many factors, like they need to be protected from grazing animals, animals which are grazing, right? So they'll be feeding on these crops. What will happen? Here you could see a picture of fence. A fence is being constructed in order to protect the field from these grazing animals. Here you have another picture of a field which is protected from grazing animals like sheep. So what is fencing? You have to construct a fence so that the field is protected from grazing animals. What will happen if the animals are allowed to graze? Naturally, the yield of plants will decrease. They will keep on consuming the produce of the plants. The yield of plants will definitely increase. So, as I mentioned earlier, apart from protecting the crops from insects and pests, they have to be first protected from what else? They have to be protected from grazing animals. Then, what we mentioned earlier, in the stage of growth process, if you find it getting attacked by insects and pests, definitely you have to use chemicals like what? Insecticides and pesticides. You have to keep on spraying with insecticides and pesticides, the chemicals which are capable of destroying insects and pests. But only thing to remember is what? They should be sprayed only in requisite quantity. You should never spray excess of insecticides and pesticides. Now, the most important thing to do is what? Crops usually get attacked by microorganisms, so they get lots of diseases. So if a crop is not healthy, will it give us a good yield? Definitely no. So the crop should be disease resistant. They should not be susceptible to the attack of microorganisms. For that, usually in agriculture field, there are researchers who actually research and find out varieties of crops which are disease resistant. Here in this slide, we have picture of a chickpea variety. The name of the chickpea variety is Super Anigari 1. And this is a chickpea variety which was developed by researchers in the state of Karnataka. Karnataka is the leading producer of chickpea. And which variety of chickpea do they cultivate there in Karnataka? It's the Super Anigari 1. And what is special about this variety of chickpea? It's a variety of chickpea which is drought resistant. Karnataka does not receive much of rainfall. So there is no problem for this crop. This crop is actually drought resistant. Even if there is shortage of water, the plants will grow healthy and also they will give us a good yield. And what is another important characteristic of this crop, Super Anigari, it's a disease resistant chickpea. This crop never gets attacked by much of insects and pests. So while you select a particular crop, you have to choose only what type of crop, if it's available, only the ones which are disease resistant. So apart from protecting the crops from insects and pests, they have to be protected from what else? They have to be protected from grazing animals. By what method? Proper fencing. Then they have to be protected from insects and pests with the help of chemicals known as insecticides and pesticides. And the most important thing to do is what? While you choose the crops, when you choose it to grow in a large number, that is when you choose it for agriculture, you have to choose only what type of crops, the varieties which are disease resistant. Now we'll sum up. Crops have to be protected from what else? From grazing animals like cows and goats. And how can we do that? Can be kept away by proper fencing. We have to construct fences. You know what is a fence, right? Barbed wire construction. It helps to keep the grazing animals away. Now what's the next point? We have to protect the pests from That is crops from pests like locusts, grasshoppers and caterpillars. How? By using pesticides, chemicals which help in destroying this harmful pest. Now last one, we have to protect the crops from diseases. And what is the best way to protect the crops from diseases? We have to develop disease-resistant variety of crops. One example that we discussed earlier, the case of Anigiri, Super Anigiri 1. It's a chickpea variety that is disease-resistant as well as drought-resistant. So there is no need of using insecticides and pesticides. There is no need of artificial methods of irrigation. It's a variety which could survive under even the harshest of conditions and will be giving us a good yield. So once we get this yield, the process is not yet over. This produce that we got from crops need to be stored properly. That's the last part of this chapter. So after harvesting, one more procedure is left, that is storing it properly. You have to store it away from moisture. You know that moisture in grains promotes the growth of microorganisms. So usually how do we store grains? If you buy grains at home, there is a procedure that we usually do before storing it in airtight containers. We keep it under sunlight so that the moisture content escapes. And we ensure that it is perfectly dry, then only we store it in airtight containers. So for the grains that we get as produce, that's the first step to be done. That is, when we go for storage of crops, we have to store it away from what? Moisture. And what's the reason why the crops have to be protected from moisture? The grains, if there is moisture content in it, microorganisms will, that is fungi and all, will attack it. So the first thing to do is what? Protecting the produce of crops away from moisture. And what is usually done? It's being dried up, especially with the help of sunlight. The next thing to do while we store such produce is what? We have to keep it safe from rats, moles, birds, squirrels and insects. You know, all these creatures feed on grains. So definitely we have to protect the grains from these animals. So for that purpose, go for the bracket. How do we store grains? We store them in airtight and sealed containers. It serves two purposes. What all purpose? It's airtight and sealed means what? The grain is stored away from moisture. And it's in a sealed container means what? These insects cannot attack the grains. So what all steps did we discuss today? We discussed about growing crops in large numbers to get a good yield. We discussed the different steps in order to ensure a good yield. Like what all? Selection of seed, preparing soil, irrigating, using fertilizers, using insecticides and pesticides. And after getting the yield, the produce have to be stored properly. To ensure that it is dry, we actually dry it under sun and then store it in airtight and sealed containers. Here you have a picture of how grains are stored properly in gunny sacks. You know what is a gunny sack, right? It's a sack made of jute, natural material like jute, otherwise hemp. You all have seen this, right? Grains are stored. It's actually packed in gunny sacks and you could see it being covered by polythene covers, polythene sheets, so that it protects it from moisture. It keeps it away from moisture. Sometimes grains are stored in godowns. You could see the picture of a godown in which grains are we ensure that they are being kept away from moisture as well as from animals which tend to attack these grains. So to conclude, by growing plants in large number, we ensure that we are able to meet the requirements of the entire population of our country, and we keep all steps. That is, we have to be very careful in ensuring that plants get all the necessary conditions for producing a good yield, and after getting yield, we have to ensure the proper storage of grains. So here we have come to the end of the chapter. I'll just conclude with this statement. You know that plants, just like us, otherwise like other animals, they are also living organisms, right? Plants are living organisms. You've seen a mother nurturing a baby, right? Feeding the baby, otherwise meeting all the requirements of the baby. Likewise, plants, because they are living organisms, can you go for the slide? They have to be given love and care. So if you give plants love and care and provide them with all the favorable conditions, How do plants reciprocate? Plants will grow well, will give us a good yield, and will thus add to the wealth of a country. This yield actually, the good yield that plants produces, serves two purposes. What all? We'll be able to meet the food requirements of our country, and it will add to the wealth of a country. So shall I read the concluding sentence? If given love and care and provided with favorable conditions, that is, if plants are given love and care and are provided with favorable conditions, plants will grow well, they will give us good yield, and will thus add to the wealth of a country. So we'll go for a quick revision. We come to the end of this chapter. The topic that we started discussing is agriculture. We learned the definition of agriculture. All these questions I'll be asking during the interactive session. What is agriculture? It's a practice of growing plants on a large scale. Then, the steps to increase the yield. What are the different steps to increase the yield? Usually farmers add manure to soil, otherwise add fertilizer. By doing this, they ensure that the yield is more compared to the condition in which we are not adding these. In order to ensure a good and healthy crop produce, we have to choose healthy and ripe seeds, then prepare the soil properly, add manures or fertilizers, we have to irrigate the soil, we have to protect the crops from insects and pests using insecticides and pesticides. Definition for the term insecticides: chemical used for destroying harmful insects. What are pesticides? They are chemicals used for destroying pests. And regarding their use, how should we use these chemicals? They should be only sprayed on crops, and spraying should be done properly. And if it's sprayed properly, it will protect the crops from pests, but overuse of too much of use can be harmful for our health. Now, how crops are being protected? They're protected from grazing animals by proper fencing. Then, they're protected from insects and pests by spraying these chemicals, pesticides, otherwise insecticides. Then, how they are being protected from disease? They can be protected from disease by growing varieties of crops which are disease resistant. Here we have an example of a chickpea variety, a variety which was developed by agriculture researchers in state of Karnataka. Karnataka is one of the leading producer of chickpea only because they grow this variety of chickpea, that is Super Anigiri. So crops are protected from grazing animals, they are protected from pests, they are protected from disease causing microorganisms. Now the last step to do is what? Storing the crops in a proper way. Crops are being stored away from moisture, and they are also kept safe from animals like rats, moles, birds, squirrels and insects. And to ensure these two, the best way of storing, they can be stored in an airtight and sealed container. Now discuss a few question answers which are left to answer from the back of the chapter. See, there is no confusion regarding the way in which you have to maintain your notebook. This will be applicable for other chapters also. All these one-word type of questions that we discussed, there is no need to copy it in your notebook. And I have sent you some PowerPoint presentations. There is no need to copy the different topics. That is, I have just included the important topics. There is no need to note it down in your notebook. The only thing that you need to note down in your notebook is answers of sections E, F and G. G section is hot answer, E is short answer and F is long answer question. Only these three sections you need to answer in your notebook. And the note should be sent in a PDF format to your respective science teachers. I am taking science in division 5C. Those who are in division 5C, you have to send your notebooks completed to my personal window. Don't take a photo and send it. After taking photo, you can scan it with the help of apps like Cam Scanner, make it as a file, a PDF format and send it to my personal number. 5A students, you have to send it to your class teacher, that is Binoy sir. 5B students need to send the file to your class teacher, Asha KL teacher. 5D students have to send the notes to your science teacher, that is Sister Jessie. So I think it's clear to you. You have to complete today itself. You have deadline, I think 20th is the deadline for submitting your notebooks. 20th means this Saturday is the deadline for submitting your notebooks. So there is no need of any confusion. I think it's becoming clear to you all. You need to write the answer of only 3 sections that are given at back of your chapter, which are section E, F and G. Section E is short answer, section F is long answer type of question. We have discussed answers of all the questions included under these headings and the hot question also. So these are the pending questions to discuss. So once this session is over, you will be in a position to complete your notebook. This already submitted the notebooks to me. There is no need to include this questions and send it again. It's okay. You can actually include it in the next session. That is when you are submitting next. So I think that now there is no need of any confusion. This is because I got a query regarding the way to write the notes and way of submitting. You need to submit it to your respective science teacher. See, I am taking science only in one division of 5th, that is 5C. So you need to, the students of 5C only need to send the notes to me. The rest of you, you need to submit it to your respective science teachers. Just like I mentioned earlier, 5A, there is no need of any confusion. It's your class teacher. 5B also, it's your class teacher. 5D student should send it to Sister Jessie, who is taking science in your division. So shall we discuss these questions? First one, tick the correct answer. This is a topic that we discussed today. Insecticides and pesticides protect crops from being destroyed by. There are 4 options. One is drought. Second option is excessive rain. Third option, maybe by this time the answer is clear to you. These actually protect us from, in your textbook it's given only pests, but actually this protect us from what else? Insects also. There is no need to add. I was just mentioning. So insecticides actually protect the crops from what? Insects. That's not included in the option. No problems. Now pesticides protect the crops from what? By the attack of pest. Now write the short answers. This is also a topic that we dealt with today. Why do we spray pesticides on crops? This is one of the steps that we have to do in the different steps included for ensuring the proper growth of crops. What is it? We spray pesticides on crops for what purpose? To protect them from being destroyed by what? Specifically pest. Now this is a definition included under F section, question included under F section. What is agriculture? You need to write only the definition. It's a practice of growing plants on a large scale. So that's all from the chapter.